My friend, today we're going to be talking about meeting the new phase in the mission of the radical left. The woke tyranny rebranded for 2025 is the name of this. And the person I want you to focus on is Michelle Wu of Boston. It's very easy for a lot of folks, sometimes those who have joined, I think what they call it, either the conservative world or the Trump world or whatever, and they all go in at different levels. You know, it's like when you go to a concert, you may be going for different reasons, whether it's the song or the music or nostalgia or whatever, but you're all there, but you're there for different reasons. Depending upon where you go, depending upon whom you listen to, there are folks out there in the world, believe it or not, who really don't understand what's going on. And there is a group of us that apparently, I don't know why I've got my earphones on. There's a group of us. I was listening to something before. What the hell? I just looked and said, what have I got earphones on? Anyway, there are a group of us who really do not understand the way this thing works. And I'm going to explain this. And forgive me if what I've said is repeated or if I seem to be repetitious. I can't get around it. First and foremost, I am here as a commentator, an analyst, a reviewer of what's going on in the world. Sometimes I just did a brand new video. I think one of the funniest subjects is Rosie O'Donnell. Remember the old expression from the 60s, what if they gave a war and nobody came? What if you left a country and nobody cared? And what if you keep telling everybody every 3 days, you know, I left. Yeah, we know you left. Anyway, that's funny. Like Michelle Obama. It's kind of fun. It's kitschy. It's not critical. It's not the end of the world, but it's kind of fun. Okay, that's that. Then there's the political part. And the political part is I kind of weigh into this, and I love President Trump. I love what he's trying to do. I love what he's done and been through. But right now we got some big problems. And we have people who are not seeing what's going on here. I don't think they're seeing. I'm going to say something to you right now, and it's never meant to be negative, but it's the truth. President Trump may have great friends in, I think Caroline Leavitt's terrific, Stephen Miller's terrific. I really like him a lot. Tom Homan is definitely there. But Pam Bondi or Kash Patel or Bobby Kennedy or Pete Hegseth, to an extent, I don't know. They may be loyal. They may be loyal, and they may be great, and they may be absolute incredible arbiters and purveyors of the Trump message, but they may not understand the severity of what they're up against. Where we are woefully deficient right now is lawfare. Absolutely, we are unarmed. We are going to get it both barrels. And if you don't see what's happening there, I don't know what to tell you. It takes more than Judge Jeanine or Miranda Devine crafting some pithy riposte or retort or something. They're wonderful people. God bless them. That's not going to do it. What is going on is also done without and beyond the knowledge of most people of the radical left. They don't know what's going on either. This is a group of people who knows battle stations. They know where the ramparts are. They know exactly where they are positioned. We don't have that. We don't have that. It's not there. It may not be there. It's not ready to deal with the horrors of this. So in any event, I've made an extensive list. Listen carefully, and I hope that great members and friends and folks of the administration are listening. I hope people understand the spirit of which I give this. I am not here to make friends. I'm not here to be a part of a fan club. I couldn't care less. I'm not interested in that. I don't care if anybody likes what I have to say or if I'm not cheerleading enough. Doesn't matter to me. I'm telling you the truth because my country is at stake and the future of our liberty is at stake. But first, a word from our sponsor. Listen to me. Are you drowning in debt? You're not alone. New reports show the average person is buried under $8,674 in credit card debt. with total consumer debt soaring to a staggering $104,215, including mortgages, auto loans, student loans, and credit cards. It's a financial crisis, and without a real solution, many will keep spiraling deeper. That's why I want to introduce you to a powerful secret weapon that has helped so many regain control. They specialize in consolidating all your debts into one manageable monthly payment and even negotiate a settlement so that you can pay less than you actually owe. Think about this. They've already settled over $275 million in debt. Think about that. Helping people break free in an average of just 28 months. I've personally recommended their services to friends and clients who needed a way out, and now I'm bringing it straight to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. So don't wait. Book a free consultation today, right now, at NoDebtWithLionel.com. That's NoDebtWithLionel.com. The link is right under the title here. It's time to take back control of your finances. Act now. Get out of debt and start living the life you deserve. All you have to do is pay attention to what's happening right now, and you will see we've got some very, very, very serious issues. Our good friend Raul Rodriguez says from 1876 to 1882, the torch of the Statue of Liberty was on display in Madison Square Park on the east side of 5th and Avenue in 1877 for 50 cents. That would be $14.84, I guess, today. One could climb up the ladder to the flame. Thank you, Raul. I appreciate that. Cut Up Chatter says, Rosie is a toothache no one ever missed. Indeed. A little bit deeper on that before we go on to that. You know, one of the parts of anything, if you are in, let's say, the restaurant business, if you're in Broadway, if you're what have you, if you don't understand what is and isn't important, what people like, you're missing the point drastically. There is no such thing anymore as stars. We don't know what they are. We are inundated with so many people that it is impossible to have stars. Everybody is a star. I don't want to sound like, was it Peaches and Herb or is that Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis? Everybody be a star, baby. Anyway, everybody is. And there was a time when people like Rosie and Michelle Obama, to an extent, thought that they really were stars, that they made a difference. And the first thing you have to do is you have to ask yourself, what is it that you're doing? How important are you? And are you being saddled by your own hubris? Sometimes some of these stars are like a spice or something in the gumbo that's so faint, nobody even knows it's there. Like, for example, Michelle Obama. And others as well. There are these people, Kathy Griffin, and this is something else which is important. And I mean to say this. I don't care who is doing well in the, performance opinion world, whether it's Charlie Kirk. I don't care about that. Listen to what I'm telling you. There is a group of people or a faction of the radical left, the woke tyranny brigade, and they are ready to go, and they are well placed and well entrenched, and you've got to focus on this. And if you feel delighted, if you think this is great, they're going to shut down the Department of Education. I know that's important. Does that make a difference, really? Nope. If somebody found $385 million in a DEI program of the Pentagon and we got rid of it, does that mean that DEI is over? Nope. Is it good? Absolutely. Does it mean it's over? No. Cut Up says, I struggle with repulsion and hearing certain voices. Well, that's it. Sometimes, yes, I believe me, I'm the same way, and I'm sure I have that effect on people as well. But let's go through this very, very carefully. Very, very. Michelle Wu. Now, people are missing this one. This is the voice, the old Democratic lefty group of AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, Jasmine Crockett, Fannie Willis, Tiffany Henyard, Nancy Pelosi, Steny Hoyer, Chuck Schumer. It's over. That's done. It's finished. The Democratic Party is over. They're done. They're through. Gavin Newsom is going to end up, he might be politically smart because he's abandoning this radical left. But the left is bigger and more powerful than ever. And Michelle Wu is the unabashed leader. She's the mayor of Boston, the unabashed queen of this. That's number one. Number two, they are being entrenched and indoctrinated back into violence. Look at what they're doing to Elon Musk. And what's important is not what they're doing to Elon Musk, but the fact that they are not being stopped. That's what you have to realize. They are not being stopped. The next thing, remember when we thought people like Jimmy Kimmel and late night may be gone, but there is a faction of the left that is openly embracing violence. Jimmy Kimmel, Daily Show, and others. Absolutely, positively, 100% dangerous. People are feeding into this. You hear what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about this. This is where it's going now. This is bigger than anything you can imagine. This isn't just some little, oh, well, is it in Brooklyn? They have signs. I think Libs of TikTok, who's terrific, said something like kill Elon. And they're just getting more and more and more. And we saw this during BLM. BLM is still around. They're not dead. Antifa, they're not dead. We are wasting our time. And I'm sorry to tell you, okay? It's been 60 days today, 60 days since President Trump took over. And I like what he's doing, but we are losing ground. The next area that's going to be bigger than ever is going to be lawfare like you haven't seen. Don't think for a moment that Justice Roberts' little reference is not something that's not important. It's very important. Exceedingly important. Absolutely important. You understand what I'm saying? It is absolutely, positively, critically important that you recognize what we're talking about right now. This is bigger than anything you can imagine. I'm not just saying this. I appreciate, I really do, the fact that the president has had people involved in his group that are loyal. And I think Pam Bondi is one of the best and one of the most loyal and one of the most competent and one of the best people around. I mean this. I'm not just saying this gratuitously. But I am not seeing that which I need to see, if that makes any sense to you. This is bigger than anything we can imagine. The president is being stifled, stymied, slowed down like you can't believe by judges. And it's getting worse. And you are going to see this at levels you never thought even possible. Do you hear me? You are going to see this bigger than anything you have seen. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be so huge and so monumentally important. So monumentally important that you're not going to be able to deal with this. And I don't think anybody's really ready to handle this. In fact, I know they're not. There is something that is happening in a very significant part of the left that, first of all, celebrated Luigi Mangione. That was step one. Next was the Elon Musk thing. Then I'm not seeing, and by the way, I'm not seeing LGBT and this radical group. They're not going away. They're not going away. I do not see anybody, and this is the most important. If you listen to one thing that I'm saying today, one thing that I have been saying from the beginning, and I know I'm right, and I defy anybody to tell me, and the president, I'm sure, would agree with me 100% and say that is exactly what I fear as well. They do not fear us. I cannot say this enough. Cut Up says, more teachers and teachers support, less offices. More good teaching, more we have, but teaching, but also we have to change. How do I say this? We have to change our culture, but they do not fear us. Nobody fears us. We haven't done anything. Cut Up says, who can work when you're attacked at day's arrival? Who can work when you're attacked at day's arrival? I don't know what that means. I think I know what that means, but thank you. We have to understand this. Now, let me just repeat this, because I don't think anybody's paying attention. 60 days and nobody has been found guilty or charged with anything. Bobby Kennedy, one of the biggest flops so far I've ever seen. Don't tell me he's compromised. I hope nobody. I hope somebody somewhere doesn't have dirt on him or scaring him, because this guy has been absolutely a zero. Food dies. We don't need you for that. Your big thing was you were Mr. Anti-Vax. Even though you said you weren't anti-vax, that's what they called you. Okay. You should be working and have been working in connection with maybe the FBI, I don't know, but certainly the Department of Justice. What have you done? You're nowhere to be found. Kristi Noem, I think she's sort of good. I think a lot of these people, and here's the problem. Listen to what I'm saying. When you come from the world of, like Pete Hegseth, he's good. He came from Fox News. Self-aggrandized, look at me, headshots and makeup, and I'm just saying, from that world. Then you get into this and you realize, this is pretty boring stuff here. Yep. You're into a lot of meetings and, yep. It's not really what I thought it was. Yep. You've got Don Bongino, who's terrific, right? He's about Don Bongino. He's a kind of a self-aggrandized, but I like that. He's very loyal. Is he going to get in the way with cash? I don't know. But what I'm telling you is that we have wasted our time. They're not afraid of us. The left is regrouping. You're seeing more violence, more swatting. Watch Joe Pags, Owen Schroyer, other people branding the new tier of this. And once they get away with it, you'll see more. The old left is gone. This is a new group. I'm going to say this again. Luigi Mangione. There are people who are violent, and it's becoming cool. Daily Show, Jimmy Kimmel giving the okay to this. Let me ask you if I told you this. Let's assume that I am that I am a pro-life person, and I decide to blow up, which I don't recognize, I would never do this, but let's say I blow up a an abortion clinic. Do you think anybody on Fox News or Newsmax or whatever do you think anybody would even hint at applauding me? Would you? No. The left does. They would drop me like a heartbeat. The left, the right is so scared. Look how they abandoned Tucker Carlson. He got a little close and they got rid of him because they don't know how to do that. The left says, oh, no problem. Welcome. You can say whatever you want. They have within their circles more freedom of speech than we do. They got rid of Tucker Carlson because he had on because they are, how do I say this? They are, well, the Israel policy is 100% the same, if not a little watered down compared to Joe Biden. You do know that, right? 100%. 100%. No light, no difference between that. That's Middle East, okay? We'll call it Middle East. Number two, it's much better now regarding Ukraine. Do you think anybody on Fox News, which is the only, let's face it, you can talk about these others. You can take these News Nation, Baby Monitor, they're nothing. The big dog in town, the only one, is there, but do you think any of them ever would say anything that might be construed as being, quote, pro Putin? Absolutely not. The left would have done it if they believed it 100%. There is a myth of what the right stands for. And there's a myth when it comes to the news. They are 100% in lockstep with the military-industrial complex, globalists, the usual folks. And what they do is they're very good at pretending they're unified. They're good at sniping. They're good at, people like there's, like a Ted Nugent or a Kid Rock or, Judge Janine, some loudmouth. You know what I mean? They're great at that. And you think like, wasn't that great? And you'll see this little clip of Caroline Leavitt with that little, the gangster sunglasses and the, drop the mic, and that's it. The left, as we speak, are working, I would bet anything, with Antifa, BLM, and their hardcore inner, like their stormtroopers. We don't have that. You think I'm kidding? The judges are now weaponized. They don't meet. They don't sit there and talk to each other. They're never going to do anything to risk it. No, they don't have to. They're going to grant a TRO, a temporary restraining order, on everything. The word is file it and you got it. I'm going to jam this thing up 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, 60 days, 60. Watch what happens. And what are we talking about? Nothing. Where is the Department of Justice? The Department of Justice, who represents this administration? Nowhere to be found. Lawfare is gearing up and they're going to be back like you have never seen. Like you have never seen. They weren't crushed. Why? Because nobody was crushed. Letitia James, Engoron the judge, Mershant, nobody suffered in the least. They're testing you. Talk about the JFK files. One of the biggest bunches of nothing I've ever seen in my life. Last night, it was so funny. We have people in our groups who fancy themselves. They're not really, we have a lot of layers to this. Some of them are the right, some of them are conservative, some of them are Republicans. And then we have this kind of an interesting group of folks who represent the conspiracy group. And last night, they live in this world, and they're not anti-Semitic, but they make a big deal that Oliver Stone, his family was Jewish. His father changed his name from Silverstein or something. And everything to them is pointing out that, the Rothschilds, this, and there's these groups of, and they can't tell you anything about this. I don't know if the left, do they have anything like this? I don't know. We have these pockets of these conspiracy. Again, it's the wrong word, but I'm just going to use it for shorthand. Masons, Vatican, Jesuits, New World Order, Club of Rome, World Economic Forum, globalists. Yeah. But then there's this new group of people. They just love this. I don't know what it is. They just don't. So they're making a deal, and they're unable to tell you that Israel. This is how stupid we are. When I say we, Israel was involved in the JFK assassination. To say you're missing motivation with proof of who did what. This is why we are the worst. We talk such shite all day long and confuse and believe that what we're doing makes a difference. This pocket, the Michelle Wu, they're sitting back, they're not saying anything. And they're just, I swear to you, they'll say, do us a favor. If I ran the left, if I somehow, listen to me, listen to what I'm saying. Let's say I decided to, I lost all morality. And I said, okay, give me $50 million. I'll run the left campaign. I'll change the way people think. The first thing I would do is remember something. The right are suckers for low-hanging fruit. Absolutely. You ever been to a Brazilian radicchio or a churrascaria? They walk in. This is a place where you're going to go eat meat. And what do? They see the salad bar. And they waste their time. They say, what are you doing? That's what the right is. Libs of TikTok. As much as I love her and love them or whatever, I wish that for 1 year, we never showed any pink-haired fool getting surgery or saying, my pronouns are he, their, her. Why did we do this? Johnny Maz says, disappointing that Trump paused congestion pricing. Well, yes. His Duffy decided, I don't know what this is about. What are you waiting for? This is New York. Okay. You want to shut down the Department of Education, which is fine. But congestion pricing? I know that's a New York thing, but it's going to happen to you next. But thank you. Let me go back to what I'm saying. I don't think you heard this. I love libs of TikTok. But every time they do this, it's like the cat with the pen light. You just stop what you're doing and you go right to it. And the left says, good, keep looking. If I didn't know better, and I'm not saying this is true, but if there was a really interesting book, I would write as a plot that the people that you think are conservative work for the other side because they distract you. You are too distracted by people who think they're pregnant or they have pink hair. That doesn't matter. It's okay. We're past that. We're done with that. That's still you're looking for, I call it the Greg Gutfeld, or gut bucket. Edgardo Nieves says, message to court. Now let him enforce it. Yes. Well, you know what's interesting? And thank you. Muchísimas gracias, señor. What they're doing is they're just going to jam him up. And I hope that Pam Bondi has the people, enough holdovers and stay-behinds from the Department of Justice who say, we know how to do this. Can we trust these people? I promise you, if it was a Merrick Garland DOJ, you would see outsourced law firms. Do you have any white shoe law firms threatening lefties from bringing cases against? No, they're still there. There were people who wouldn't take, for example, Rudy Giuliani's case, because if a law firm did, they would be cut off from anything involving the left. Is Trump doing that? Nope. Are they afraid of that? Nope. Absolutely not. Nothing. But we're joking. We have the Department of Education. We had a couple of good days of Kristi Noem walking around. Kristi Noem, I think she's great, but she and Carrie Lake and a lot of other people love the glitz and the glam. I'm sorry, somebody's got to say it. I saw pictures the other day, and I don't want to post them, of people before their surgeries. So help me God, you would have never, you wouldn't have picked, you know how some people look kind of, you know, when they say these people, sometimes you see People magazine, oh, Billy Joel in high school, that's Billy Joel. Oh, that's Tom Cruise. Oh, that, you know them. These people look, they are so into this, you don't understand this. Caroline Levitt, I don't think is doing that. If she ever does that, I think I will lose all faith in humanity. I want to pull people like Stephen Miller. That's the guy I like. He is so brutal. Tom Homan. Where are the others? Where's the brutality? I don't know. Bobby Kennedy, big letdown. I have never been, how do I say this? Bobby Kennedy is nothing but potential. Bobby Kennedy kept his mouth shut during the release of the JFK files. I want you to think about that one. You think about that one, okay? Now, I know that what I'm saying, people hate what I'm saying because I'm not a cheerleader. Look what they're doing to Alex Jones. Look what they're doing. Look what they're doing to Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, and they're basically coming after him. They're making it. They're crowdsourcing this Gustave Le Bon kind of a clockracy against him. It is absolutely one of the most dangerous things. Look at this. We still haven't talked about geoengineering. Now we've got fires at airports, crashes left. Who's paying attention to this? Is anybody? Or are they too busy worrying about when do I go on Fox News again? When do I don't need people to go on. I really don't. The president does not have to be on Fox News. What he has to do, what I've said since 2015, the president has to do his own little snippets every single day. A minute, 2 minutes. Here's his little fireside chat to you. AOC is done. Jasmine Crockett is done. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. Watch what's happening with her. This is where it's going. She knows exactly what's happening. They're testing us. They're regrouping. They're becoming re-entrenched with new folks and new group. And you're still looking at, the old stuff. Gays and whatever. We also have to explain that we have people in our group who really need to understand this idea of, if you have a conspiracy theory that you can't explain, it's not a conspiracy theory. If your idea is that, the Jews, what about them? Last night was one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen. There are people who said, it's like they knew bumper stickers. I got a bumper sticker. Rothschild, 9/11, dancing Israel. I'll give you to use that one. Dancing Israelis. What does that mean? I don't know. You saying Israel has something to do with 9/11? Well, Silverstein's Jewish. Uh-huh. What does that mean? Well, okay. And the mafia are Italian or Sicilian, so therefore Sicilian. What does this mean? I don't know, but I love doing all my symbols and the Knights of the Templar and the Masons. We really have to say, listen, we're going to take a break from you for a moment. Please fill us in. If Israel, Jews, Catholics say, I've been through this. Nobody's ever been able to explain. Please tell me the Jesuit Catholic. Is this a Venetian conspiracy? What are we talking about? The Borgias? What are we talking? The Medici? What? They have no idea. It's like somebody drives by, sees a bumper sticker, and then they're off we go. We really need to work on this because we sound like idiots. And there's really something that is going on here. There was an incredible discussion regarding freedom of speech, campuses, the future, but there's no way American right wing is even going to get near this, and you know why. Don't be surprised, I say this again, if late night craziness makes a comeback, especially with Kimmel and late nights pushing this Tesla terrorism. There is a new group of people out there. There are people who do not remember, you're going to laugh when I tell you this, COVID. They don't remember this. We have amnesia. They don't understand this. This is a new group of people. There are people who are also absolutely focused on hating Trump. Mrs. Ellen and I were talking. Sometimes she'll be in an event, and somebody will turn to her and say, yeah, you know, because we got this Nazi in the whole... And she looks at her and says, why do you think why is this okay? Why do so many people of the left think it's okay to presume that the world hates Trump? That's something that cannot be put into words. Am I making sense? Am I getting through? Because it's interesting, and I love you. When I say things and I look at some of the comments, I realize they're not listening to a word I'm saying. They're just talking to each other, which is fine. I mean, that's okay, but I'm thinking maybe later on. So that's why in the comment sections after this is very important, because I want you to hear what I'm saying. I appreciate the notion of live chat. I really do. In fact, I'm working on this thing where I'm going to take live calls. I'm trying to do this. But there is almost like it's like there are bets and then there's side bets. And there are people who talk to each other and use this, which is wonderful, as means to say things that have nothing to do with anything. But they just enjoy this. And I thought, I hope I'm getting through. If not, there's nothing I can do about it. Because I really don't think, and I say this with all due respect, I don't think you really get what I'm saying. I don't think you understand a word of what I'm saying. This I hope you'll understand. If you're watching this, consider yourself warned. Food prices are about to explode, and the time to prepare is now. Listen, go to preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com and secure your 4-week emergency food supply now while supplies last. With new tariffs, listen to me, with new tariffs slamming the global market and inflation spiraling, your grocery bill is about to skyrocket. When the crisis hits, shelves will be empty, and those who didn't prepare will be left desperate. History proves it. Every major economic collapse, every supply chain disruption, the first thing to go is food. You do not want to be waiting in government lines, hoping there's enough left for you and your family. This 4-week emergency food kit delivers over 2,000 calories per day, ensuring you have the nutrients you need and your family needs to weather the storm. It's fortified for survival, packed in rugged, long-term storage containers, and can last up to 25 years. So when disaster strikes, you'll be ready. Order today, and you'll get 4 free 72-hour food kits. That's 12 extra days of meals at no cost. The regular price is $346.80, but right now, you get it for just $247. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com, and lock in your emergency food supply before the real panic begins. A couple of things here. I want to mention this. There are groups of people, and I think you know this, in the world that we call the right. There's different factions of it. Chris Cox, by the way, says, unfortunately, information that is desperately needed is withheld. We only get bits to cling onto and fight each other over. We need 100% transparency now so we can find common good. You're right about that, but we also need people to go elsewhere and to be an autodidact, to be self-taught. And I don't see that. I don't see a lot of people saying, I want to go back. I want to do some research on this. I've heard, I've never forget, like one time I saw somebody ask me, one time in the live chat, what does that word mean? And nobody looked it up. I couldn't believe it. We'll look it up. No, I don't do this. Pilgrim Media says, you make perfect sense. Time to work harder. Good, I hope so. This is the most important thing, and I want you to grasp this. You see, first, you know, life is, for the most part, you don't get into factions. For example, if you are a Yankees fan, you're a Yankees fan. I mean, you might have a different story as to why, or maybe when you were a kid, or maybe you moved here. You're a Yankee fan. When you say you're a Republican, well, you sure that's it? Yeah, okay. Or are you a conservative? What's the difference? There's a big difference. Are you a Breitbart, or an Alex Jones, a Fox News, or a National Review? National Review is the most haughty and snooty of the group. Chris Cox says 90% of people don't have time to read up. That's nonsense. You have a phone and you are on the John. You are sitting and waiting. Believe me, people have time. Oh, yes, they do. Ryan, by the way, our good friend from somewhere, says, if the 14th Amendment's birthright citizenship challenge reaches SCOTUS, will the argument hinge on the meaning of the word jurisdiction? Yes. Did the writers really mean for it to cover those unlawfully residing here? The way it works and the way to get around it is to look at how Congress can, here we go. Where Congress, here's what you do. Ta-da! Look at Congress's word. Congress's phrase are the most interesting. How, because Congress, let me see, the 14th Amendment, there is a way, all persons, you hear this? Persons, start off right off the bat, not citizens, persons. What does that mean? Persons, not citizens, because this deals with citizenship. So all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. So what our dear friend just said was, Brian, what about the jurisdiction? The answer is, if Congress changes that to say the jurisdiction means that your parents have to be here, or you cannot be an illegal, or however you want to phrase that, you can correct, listen to what I'm saying, the 14th Amendment by changing the definition of subject to the jurisdiction thereof. That's it. That's it. Meaning, just because you're born here doesn't mean you're a citizen here. Now, do you want that? Maybe. So that can be done. That can be done. 100%. And thank you. Thank you for recognizing it. Do you believe there is going to be a move on the part of the Republicans or the Congress to change this? That I don't know. I don't know. But that's a great point. Let me go back to what I was saying. Let me tell you about these people that we meet, because not everybody gets along the same way or understands or thinks the same way or whatever it is. But it works kind of like this. The National Review Republican is a William F. Buckley Jr. paleo conservative. The original kind. This is really important. They probably have they don't like Trump. They don't like us. they're better than everybody. They're like the country club. Really, seriously, they were closer to kind of like your dad or your grandfather who was at the country club. I mean it. Theirs is a different their view especially is they love to be very staid. They love to be very, very quiet. They love to be very, for lack of a better word, kind of, I don't know what the word is, just more, they're not radical. They don't like Trump. They like people like Pat Buchanan, Ronald Reagan. Now, by the way, they're very good. Very good. Remember, this is interesting. I was listening last night. There's a woman named Katie Halper, and she had a great show. And let me tell you about me so that you understand this. Sometimes I love to hear people say things regarding, I guess you might want to say, I don't know, stories or issues that I may not necessarily agree with, but I like to hear what they think. I love to hear their point of view. It makes me review things. It makes me analyze things. It makes me say, oh, that's interesting. So they were talking about this fellow, Mahmoud Khalil. This is the Columbia student or person who was sent to Louisiana and Israel and blah, blah, blah. For those of you who are not necessarily the biggest fans of our Middle Eastern way of thinking, you would agree with the paleo-conservative group. Pat Buchanan, Reagan. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You would, and there are people on the left who would feel the same way. Barry Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, says, what's your take? Could a fireside chat like that cut through the crap? Yes. Or are we too far gone for meaning over sound bites? Where's the moral line you draw to keep the pursuit of knowledge honest? I don't want it filtered. I don't have to go onto Fox News to hear the president. Everybody has a phone. Everybody has a laptop or an iPad. He talks directly to us. Cut through the middleman. Nobody, not subject to anybody. Put it this way: whatever the president puts out, it comes out. It's his cut. It's his edit. I don't have to go through a 10-minute, 5-minute Hannity intro. I can just hear what he has to say. But let me go. But Barry, it's an excellent question. But let me tell you what I'm saying. The people on the left who are standing, probably protesting in Colombia or pro-Palestinian or whatever, they probably agree in many respects with William F. Buckley in some respects, or Pat Buchanan, or Reagan when it comes to foreign policy. That's paleo concept, different thing. It's kind of like America first, so to speak. Pilgrim says, I will pass away MAGA even if I'm surrounded. I will pass away MAGA even if I'm surrounded. I have no idea what that means, but thank you. Not a clue. I will pass away? Die? I don't know. Anyway, so let me go back to this. So do you see where I'm going? You see where I'm going? The left, who would have nothing to do with the classic paleo might say, you know what? We agree, but for different reasons. There are other people who say, I'm for getting out of Ukraine or NATO. Why? Because I don't like to spend money, or I'm an isolationist, or I like Putin, or whatever. All of those people would get along with paleo conservatives for the most part. What did Ronald Reagan say? when the Marine barracks in Lebanon, he said, get the hell out of here. Done with us. I have no interest in that. None. Nixon's different. Okay, we have other groups of people who are the most interesting. You have a group of people who are the, dare I say, the of the group that we're in this tent. We have this, and I don't even know what our Marco Rubio, bless his heart, has his work cut out for him because of what the Secretary of State does in this thing called diplomacy. If you've never been raised in diplomacy and you're used to being a senator with a constituency who wants to act tough, may want to run for president, may want to be, who knows? You're used to telling people you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And you're going to, Secretary of State doesn't do that. Diplomacy doesn't do that. It's let's talk. It's a different world completely. Okay. So that's over there. Right now we have no political apparatus. What the president did was, the president thinks that everybody can do what he did. They can't. Not everybody's Trump. What is the policy politically? How are people rewarded who are on our side, and how are people punished? Nothing. 60 days, they thought, wow. Can you tell me you know exactly what Tom Homan did regarding the border? No. Can you? No. I think they're gone, sort of, maybe, yeah. We saw some pictures of some people going into wherever these prisons are. That's good. Listen to what I'm saying. Every single day, everybody, and starting with the most important one right now, Department of Justice. And that includes FBI too. You have got to do something which if I was the head of the Department of, if I was the Attorney General, I promise you, the president would say to me, you've done 5 press conferences this week. You can't do that. I said, but I want to tell you. Beginning today, the Department of Justice has instituted our Operation SWAT This, where we are going after is domestic terrorism, where people are swatted. We are implementing, I'm talking to Elon Musk, we're talking to Silicon Valley, we're talking to Apple, we're talking to telecommunications, we're doing all this stuff. Because believe me, they need us because they're worried about Section 230. And I want you to be able to tell me when somebody calls in a SWAT detail, I want to find out where these people are. That's got to end immediately. And the first thing Pam Bondi's going to do is they're going to say, now remember, we've implemented this operation. You're going to find somebody, some guy that they say, look, he was a rogue element. He did this on our own. No way. Just like the second thing we do is we have an active investigation into the assassination attempt against President Trump. Are you satisfied with that one? No. Maybe if I kind of make some Jewish connection, people will care about it. I can't believe that one went nowhere. I cannot. I'm thinking, what do you people need? Where is the grand jury? You had 3 separate. There was Butler, there was a one at Mar-a-Lago, and there was a third one they kind of foiled. Where do we go with that? Nobody's talking about that. Pam Bondi, that should be Operation 2. Operation, and give it a name. Okay? Third thing, and we go after this. Tesla. We are not the enforcement arm of Elon Musk. That's not what's going on here. If we are going after abortion clinics, if we're going after Teslas, babies are in cars, pets are in cars, people are in cars. This is domestic terrorism. And I'm telling you, this is what Pam Bondi should say. When we find the people who do it, it's going to be somebody with purple hair and a thing in his nose. They're going to say just some rogue. No, they're not. Fourth, BLM. They can't get off the hook. Where's that money? Not one time have they mentioned BLM. I don't understand why, for example, like somebody mentioned the congestion pricing here in New York. I don't get that. BLM, it's a wet dream to see colors in those people indicted. It just goes away. Just like Fannie Willis. Goodbye. Just don't hear about her anymore. Just gone. Gone. Tiffany Henyard from Dalton, Illinois has him. This is the weirdest thing in the world. What are we doing? I don't know. Who are we getting? I don't know. All we know is the biggest operation so far is Mahmoud Khalil. That's it. All that work to send him to Louisiana. Who in the hell is this guy? So what? He doesn't hurt me. He doesn't like Israel. Okay. He likes Hamas. Okay. In Skokie, Illinois in 1970, whatever, the Supreme Court says you can march dressed as the Klan. I mean, who gives a shit about Khalil when all this other stuff is going on? I don't get it. Ladies and gentlemen, Stan Lippman, he's a man of few words. Let's return the Statue of Liberty. Let's return it. 1776, not 1789. You want to return the Statue of Liberty? Okay. All right, Stan. Don't ever let it be said that Stan doesn't know proportion. Now, going back to what I said, if I were Pam Bondi, I'm going to say, oh, by the way, everybody's on order. On notice, starting now. If I don't get a grand jury impaneled, if I don't get an indictment, if I don't get something within this is 60 days now. 60 days. They could have said this from November the 6th. After Trump won, they could have said, DOJ, I'm warning you, we're coming. You understand that? Putting the word out. I want to have this, and this. I want to see these people arrested. So far, who do we have? Diddy. Who are some of the big people on charge? Diddy. Who? There's a murderer here. That guy who killed these people, and nothing. But Mahmoud Khalil, this guy who wore a keffiyeh, and all of that meant to go get him, take him out, take him to Louisiana. For what? His wife's 8 months pregnant? Who gives a shit? Say whatever you want. This is America. I'll top you. Death to France. Okay, what are you gonna do? You're gonna lock me up for that? What's the difference? Nah, France is okay. What do you mean France is okay? I thought we can't say death to Serbia. This is ridiculous. You tell me right now. Listen to me. Tell me, where is Antifa? Where is Black Lives Matter? Where is the swatting? Where are the people? Where is charging people with racketeering? Bring these people in. Who do you work for? You didn't do this on your own. Who helped you? Who helped you? Who surprised you? Charge a criminal enterprise. Scare the shit out of these people. Okay? And if you really want to get black bag and black op, find out who these judges are and release dirt on them. I don't care what you do. Think like Democrats. We don't do anything. We're wasting our time. Look at, just look. Let me show you this. Let me go to Breitbart. Seems to be kind of like the most fun. I like to see Breitbart is really big. Well, Fox is a waste of time, but Breitbart has some good stuff. At least they try to pretend. You can do well. Catastrophic transformer fire closes London airport. Global travel disrupted. Sabotage. Now, of course, that's not our country, but there you go. Trump will put patients over the bureaucrats who drive up healthcare costs. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. American Psychological Association, anti-Semitic hate exposed. This is the biggest waste of time. They are so in bed with trying to show we are more, and I'm not saying anti-Semitism is not important. I'm not saying that hate is unimportant, but this is where you lose me. Really? Anti-Semitism. This is the problem? This is your number one concern. Not anti-Americanism, not crime, not people still, not TDA, but anti-Semitism, which means anti-Israel or anti-whatever. Poll, Democrats defend Hamas ally Mahmoud Khalil. Who cares? This is not important. I'm sorry. It's important. We don't have time. We got to think. We have to think. What's the word? We have to think triage. We're at an emergency room. And we're trying to figure out who needs our help first. This is the most important stuff in the world. Pro-trans activists. Okay, that's all right. That's a waste of time. I'm just looking. Be warned. Khamenei vows hard slap response to U.S. Again, Iran. Do you think Iran's a problem? Do you think, seriously, do you think? I don't. Not now. Maybe if we have time, maybe if everything is done, Iran is posing no problem to me right now. None. Russia's not. Ukraine is not. NATO. Who cares about this? Not now. Pam Bondi announces charges against individuals participating in domestic terrorism against Tesla properties. Don't charge them individually. Look at it in terms of something racketeering or otherwise. DHA Secretary Kristi Noem on string of swattings. We will hunt these cowards down. Okay, fine. That's great. Are you going to do this? Do you mean to tell me in the year 2025, we don't know how to do this? You mean to tell me if there's a child that needs our help, that we don't know how to do it? FBI most wanted arrest signal return to agency's law enforcement focus? Well, gee, that's terrific. Jimmy Kimmel justifies Tesla terrorism, spreads false Nazi claims. There we go. There we go. Now, at least, this is what I was telling you before. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth cuts $580 million in wasteful contracts. That's nice. That's good. That's good. Is this what I want to hear? Nope. John Cusack at Tesla takedown mass mobilizing call. Elon Musk is literally killing people. Who cares about this? Vance savages Kamala. I don't have 4 shots of vodka before every meeting. Waste of time. Tim Walz talks tough. Nobody cares. Stephen A. Smith. Nobody cares. This is where we are. Here we go. Little story. Boston Mayor Wu slams Trump, praises migration amid ICE arrest. This is the one you're going to have to look for. There is a movement that is happening in this. And what I'm saying is, people think that they're running headlines. This is where they're looking for. They're looking for headlines and not for really changing the world. Fret Pound says, some spooky details in Khalil's resume. Great. You know who's spooky? Let me tell you who's spooky. TDA. Shall I talk to you about that? You want me to go through that? You think that Tren de Aragua is spooky, is not as spooky as Khalil? Are you kidding me? You're kidding me, right? How many kids are missing in this country? How many kids who came into this? 500,000? Over 500,000. And we've got all these people who tracked him down, picked him up. The guy's a bad dude. I don't have time for him yet. I don't have time for him. There are 1 million kids. Not only that, there's trafficking. There's all this horrible stuff going on in my country, and I'm worrying about him because he said something about Hamas. Who cares? Heathrow is in shutdown currently. Right, this is This is Heathrow, right? This is the yeah, we've been talking about that. Exactly. Theodore Duff says, what is Theodore? Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Thought it was something else. This is, see, remember, I'm standing at an emergency room. I'm trying to figure out who to get to first. I don't have time to go after every little thing. Every little stupid thing, every little stupid concern, every little, this is great. I don't care about this. Did he, if this guy planned violence, throw him on, that's fine. Do whatever you want. But I promise you, Tom Homan, I hope DHS, I hope ICE, I hope the FBI, I hope they've got lists of people, where they are, the safe houses, who's supporting them, all of the kids that are still part of trafficking enterprises, all of the drugs, all of the fentanyl, all of the cartels, and we're worried about Khalil. I was getting excited. I thought we were going to go in and actually militarily go into Mexico, declare war. That's it. I don't know what happened to that. What happened to that? The president is allowing congestion pricing, and the reason why we got to fix the subways. They took the police out. They let every dirtbag, they turned it into I don't remember the last time I was at the subway. I don't even remember. I swear to God. You can have that. I'm not interested. I don't understand. Kathy Hochul is saying that congestion pricing for people with asthma, she has no idea what she's talking about. And by the way, we have this sexual predator and this killer, this murderer, Cuomo, who's running. So anyway, that's a New York thing. You don't care about that. Let me go back again. Whatever happened to the people? Whatever happened to TDA? Whatever happened to these people? Whatever happened to MS-13? What's the matter with us? Where is our Pam Bondi's got to be doing? We've got to hear about this stuff now. I mean, and don't say we're going to track you down. No. Not one person, not Fauci, nobody. Bobby Kennedy, red dye number 3. What the hell is going on here? So let me tell you something. They may not like me. They may figure that's okay. I'm not sitting there going, no, kissing everybody's ass. Let me explain something. I'm really going to be careful here. This is about my country, my family, our future. It's not to make friends. It's not to be buddies. It's not to say, I like Carrie Lake. Stop it. I don't know where this comes from. I don't know where this fan club stuff came from. We are in an absolute war here. And the left is more dangerous than anything we've seen before. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I cannot believe what a joke the dropping of the JFK files were. That was nothing. I cannot believe what I saw. Nothing. Nothing. It was like there was so much fodder and so much information for people to see in terms of the amount of conspiracy available in the government. And last night I told you, I said, Oliver Stone did more to make people aware, to dismiss this notion of the lone government than anybody else. And one of our people said, oh yeah? You know, he changed his name to Silverstein or whatever it was. That was the take. I said, well, thank you very much. What about this? I went to know he's a Jew. This is our mindset. We're sitting at the emergency room. I'm not the charge nurse, but I don't know what I'm, and I'm saying, this guy's shot in the head, and this guy's got an ingrown toenail. Are you not paying attention to what's going on? No. Because I don't think we have learned enough how to prioritize reality. I really don't. I honest to God, I think it's just a story, and it's whatever. It's like you're at that Brazilian radicchio, when you're eating this stuff but you're missing the big picture. That's not why we're here for. We're this. I want to see TDA crushed. I want this to be held as a racketeering or enterprise, whatever you want to call them. Have the FBI go on in swarms and arrest them. I want Antifa. Who do you think is... I got to stop. I got to stop. Because I just say, I don't know where I fit into this. I don't know if anybody, I swear to God, and I love so many of you wonderful, wonderful people who are still saying things like, somebody wrote, I want the J6 files. There's nothing in files. I think people just sit there and say something. Okay, send back the Statue of Liberty. That's pretty good. I like that, yeah. French toast. Oh, that's good. I like that one. Just say something. Hey, Jerry. How are you, Jerry? Ha, ha, ha. Pam Bondi. Bondi, bond out. Pam, the name is Bondi. James Bondi. Ha, ha. This is where we are. We just talk shit and we say, okay, bye. And then we leave and we just, and people are saying, you've got this phone. Research this. Nah. I don't want to do that. I just want to see what, oh, good, I'm going to go and watch this show. And I love watching that. I could imagine, I mean, what would we have done during World War II? Where we really could have honestly lost to an actual fascistic, in any event. Please focus, my friends. Cut Up Chatter. Thank you, Fred Pound. The inimitable Stan Lipman, Pilgrim Media, Barry Taylor. Thank you, Ryan, Chris Cox. Thank you, Edgardo Nieves. Thank you. And Raul Rodriguez. Let's see what happens. Let's see the big story today. Where's Bobby Kennedy? Where's Fauci? Where are the indictments? 60 days today? 60 days? Not one. Hunter Biden? Not one state charge. Joe Biden? Not one state. Not one. Nobody? Hillary Clinton? Not one. Not a parking ticket? Speeding ticket? Overdue library book? Nothing but great Greg Gut Bucket, great clips. Oh, it's funny. And Jesse Waters. Oh, God. Own them, torch them. This is who we are. Meanwhile, they're plotting stuff right now you haven't even seen yet. If you think the Tesla fired or something, wait. You think swatting is good? Wait. They keep getting bigger and stronger and more powerful. And what do? We just say, why you? That's got to end. Don't forget to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Don't forget to follow our other channel at Lionel Legal. And make sure you pay attention here. All right? Because remember, this is a very, very serious effort. Have a great day, my friends. Don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya.